they need help with sharing the idea and concept of what they're building for investors, for crowdfunding, basically to raise all the capital to make this project happen. And Mike asked me, hey, would you be willing to come out here and film on the land and help me explain this thing and share this vision? And I was like, sure. Never done this before, but I figure I can figure it out. Shit, I have like absolutely zero plan for this video. So I'm basically just gonna make a little video about what the hell's going on right now in my business. Yeah, so this will be episode 2, building a media business for entrepreneurs. If you want to go see how I started everything, go to episode 1. It's actually been, I think, a couple months since I made my first episode. I've just been making different videos for the last few months and kind of getting off track. I'm overcomplicating everything with YouTube here. So I'm back to simplicity. So I'm going to update you on everything that's happened. So kind of catching you up a little bit, I had a few different clients. I was creating like personal documentaries, working with a few people remotely, and then I went to Colombia. A lot of stuff changed when I went to Colombia. I started meeting a bunch of entrepreneurs in person, and I went out there with no real intent of like any specific kind of work. I kind of am just building this new business, and I was like, okay, I'm working with entrepreneurs. That's pretty much all I know. Everything else I'm kind of just making up as I go along. And I have all these skills from my past 10 years of business, of building different businesses, of creating videos, editing, building teams, systems, all these things. And I've pretty much just been trying to see how can I best serve entrepreneurs with those skills. That's kind of been the thing. I'm just kind of fitting myself into the puzzle rather than trying to create some offer that is set up and that I need to try to cram people into. That's been my strategy currently, or my lack of strategy, I guess. And so far it's been working pretty well. So let's talk about that. Sometimes I forget to breathe when I make talk and make videos. It's weird. Shout out coconut water. So it started out with personal documentaries for my mentor, Blake. And then I worked with Charles, who is a branding specialist, visual identity, all things brand. I did a personal documentary for him as well, very similar to the first one. And then I started getting into doing some more remote work with clients. So that was like just helping to consult, helping to kind of like executive produce projects remotely from people around the world. And then when I got to Colombia, I got into a group of entrepreneurs there, all very successful, and just talked to a bunch of people. And lo and behold, found some people who needed video, right? That was pretty much what happened. And that night I met a guy by the name of Mike Inspire. And I went to dinner with him and his girlfriend, Christina, and learned about the project that they're building. They're building a wellness center up in the mountains of Colombia, up in the forest. And they need help with sharing the idea and concept of what they're building for investors, for crowdfunding, basically to raise all the capital to make this project happen. And Mike asked me, hey, would you be willing to come out here and film on the land and help me explain this thing and share this vision? And I was like, sure. Never done this before, but I figure I can figure it out. So while I was out there, we went out to his land and we just captured everything that was out there. I put together like a plan and a strategy. We're doing like a shorter crowdfunding video, a documentary, and then like a bunch of shorts. And we just went out there and executed it, but it did happen to be way more rushed than we expected. We planned on having like 2.5 days, but it turned into like 1 day. Scheduling mishaps, issues with rental car. His son had to be at the airport. Just, it's a whole thing. But the point is, we basically only had like 1 day to actually film everything we needed. So we were very rushed. I actually filmed some footage from that. So I guess I'll just include the footage. I like did a vlog. Okay, we're out here in the mountains of Colombia. So far we've created the crowdfunding video. So it's about 3.5 minutes long. I'll share the link in the description for that if you want to check that out. That shares basically the entire project and what it's for. And then right now we're working on the full-length documentary, and I'm really excited. We are supposed to be doing a watch party for it in Colombia, actually. So I'm really excited to share that with everyone. Hopefully we can get a lot of attention and gather up a lot of funds by doing that watch party. So that's going to be something kind of interesting. I kind of imagine this whole project would be like all online and it would just be through the internet. But like, I think that's kind of cool that we're actually being able to leverage just real life in-person stuff, which is kind of a reoccurring theme here. All the clients I got in Colombia, just people I met in person, and ironic because I have like a marketing business. But yeah, that's how it's been working out for me. So Anyway, if you want to see some of that work, I'll be continuously like speaking and sharing things about that. It's actually been really cool, like putting together the project, sharing something that isn't real, using AI to help illustrate what that looks like. And actually, I've been learning a lot about AI tools for video editing, like things that I haven't even really seen people using. I've been getting into that. So if you want to hear about some of those things, just like let me know in the comments. I have a bunch of videos I want to make about that process. But that was the project we shot out there. And while I was out there as well, I met another guy by the name of Mike, another Mike. And Mike Cornell here, he has an incredible wholesaling business where he wholesales diabetic commodities. I literally never heard of this before. And I met him at a party, and it was like late at night. I talked to him for like 30 seconds, happened to run into him again at the mall, went to his New Year's party at his house. We got to talking more. And then long story short, we had a meeting. I learned about like what he's trying to do, what he's trying to build. And he's basically looking to create a personal brand. And he's been building this incredible business, built this giant business. It all crashed and burned, rebuilt it. Like he has this amazing story. And I'm working on creating a founder story for him right now as I'm deeming it, to share everything that he's done. And I'll share that video in the description here whenever I finish it. So you can see that if you're interested. And the cool thing about Mike is I met him in Colombia, but we started working together online, like remotely. So I've been remotely creating videos with him by doing remote interviews, and I helped him kind of set up a whole camera setup and everything so we can get high quality videos. So that's been really cool, creating videos remotely with him. I'm in the middle of creating a big founder story, and then as well as a bunch of like short form content to push people to that. I think it's really interesting. Like a thing that I'm learning from working with all these entrepreneurs is so many of them have these incredible, amazing stories, but they've never shared them. And I think that I learned that from myself, which is why I started making videos. And then I meet all these entrepreneurs and they haven't even shared it. No one knows about these things, but then you have the conversation with them and you're like, whoa, this is crazy. This person's so cool. So I think that in my head, what I'm doing is just bridging that gap at scale by creating videos so people can actually learn the story behind these people. Because I feel like when you know someone's story and you know how they got there, the credibility is just like unmatched. Like some of these guys I'm working with are absolute beasts. They have crazy stories. They went through hell to get where they are now, and nobody knows it. So I guess one of the things I'm doing is just hoping to shed light on these entrepreneurs and their stories, their visions, whatever it is that they're doing. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And again, it's been interesting. Like I've just been trying stuff. And, I might say this for the end, but honestly, when I stopped my last business, had this wedding video agency, I struggled with it for a long time and wanting to shut it down because it was doing well. And I just didn't understand why. But now that I've gotten into this new business, working with entrepreneurs, I'm realizing I think the reason why I've been enjoying it so much and the reason why I've been so attracted to it is not the reason that I thought. Honestly, when I first started working with entrepreneurs, I was like, oh, well, businesses have more money, so I'll make way more money. This is great. But I'm pretty new into this. I haven't been making a ton of money yet. Like it's a new business. That's just how it goes. But it's been so much more fun because I think part of being an entrepreneur, it's a really lonely journey. You're alone. No one understands. You have to you have to go against the people who you care about the most and do what you know you need to do. You have to ignore everyone else and go off on this like unbeaten path. And working with other entrepreneurs, I'm getting to like help share the stories that they've gone through and the journey that they've gone through, because I personally have gone through that. And so I think that there's this like sense of camaraderie and really just like, I've just been making friends. Like all these clients that I have, I'm like, these are cool dudes. I'm going to invite these dudes to my fucking wedding. It's like one of those kind of things where I'm like, it's just different. Like I just been having a crazy experience with working with people who get me and people who I really understand. And I think my superpower in this business has been that I actually know what these entrepreneurs are going through and I actually care for them because I see myself in them. I've been through these things before. And I also can see that most people don't see their own value. And I think by creating videos to be able to share the stories and like shining light on gold that's already there, but they just don't see it as gold because it's their normal lives. I think that's what I'm doing here. And again, this is just a discovery journey. I don't even know what I'm doing truly. I'm like just trying things. I'm taking all the skills I have and I'm just trying to use them to serve entrepreneurs wherever I can. And so that's what I've been doing. Now, on a more mechanical level, what I'm finding is that I'm able to do that in a number of ways, but the function, like the overall function, is like creating a video to help display whatever vision, story, idea that they want to get across, like doing that through video. Like that's the most basic way I can explain the mechanism. And then getting into details of how I'm actually able to do that. Basically, there's 3 types of clients that have been emerging through this work. So the first one, which is the most like normal that you would see from any kind of like video production business, which is just, I show up, I record interviews, I film a bunch of stuff, film B-roll, and I make a video, right? Second way is actually working with the client and hiring a videographer local to them, and then remotely working with that videographer and the client to help create the video. So like kind of remotely producing. Third is fully remote. So I'm working directly with the client. We're setting up a camera. We're doing remote interviewing. There's no camera crew. There's no videographers involved. It's just me and the client. That's the 3 different mechanisms I've been basically leveraging to achieve the initial thing, which is, again, sharing the vision, sharing the mission, getting the idea from one place to scale through the internet with video. That's basically what I'm doing. So right now I'm working with Mike on these projects. I'm really just like in the editing phase, post-production, getting ready for distribution stuff. Really exciting. Going to be sharing Charles, the project that I did with Charles and his work soon. Working with him a little bit more also working with him on building my brand out whenever it's time. Right now, it's just kind of me. Also, another exciting thing is I have some potential new hires. I'm bringing on some editors and just a few like simple hires to help me start managing this stuff, because I'm so under leveraged right now. Like I'm just doing everything myself. And I came from having a business with, editors, admins, salespeople, like all that stuff. So now I'm back to like doing everything by myself. And it's great. And I'm loving getting to touch every single piece of the business, because it allows me to make sure that I'm aware of what's going on and there's not these inefficiencies. I've found that hiring too early like tends to lead to leaning on people rather than leaning on systems. And that's really inefficient. Like if you lose someone, that's painful. And also getting them trained and ready to do the thing is really hard without a system. So I'm in the phase of like systemizing where I can, so I can bring in help. But the key thing I'm doing while I'm building this business, honestly, is trying to make it as efficient, streamlined, and simple as possible. Not overcomplicating wherever I can, because it's so easy to just overcomplicate business and try to add all these extra crazy systems and stuff. I'm trying to only build systems where it's necessary to have systems. I want this to be more free-flowing. I want it to be organized. Don't get me wrong. I want it to be organized, but I want the experience to be much more personal. Like everyone wants to automate everything these days. And I get it. Like automation's amazing. We have AI now and stuff. But I think that there's a time and a place for automation, and there's a time and a place for personalization and conversation directly with your clients, and having a relationship. Like, man, it's crazy. This business just feels so different because I actually want to talk with my clients. I actually want to show up to meetings. I want to have sales calls with these. I want to have sales calls with potential clients. I want to learn about their business. Like, it's weird to say, but it's like I just care about this work. I never knew that I didn't care about what I was doing before until I started this business. I kind of felt weird about it, but I didn't really know what was going on. Now getting into this, I realize it's simple. It's just like, I actually like what I'm doing now. I'm able to show up without a lot of effort and like forcing myself to work. I don't need to be on monk mode and have perfect sleep and, have like a perfect morning routine. I don't have to do any of that stuff to work. Like it's actually crazy. It's been such an interesting experience, but that's my episode 2. I'm going to just try to update this and keep this simple. Honestly, I've been overcomplicating this. If you're still watching this video and you've been watching my videos for the last 4 to 6 weeks, you'll notice a pattern in me. And it's so funny. I just overcomplicate everything. Like I'll start something and it'll be simple and easy. And I'm like, oh, this is great. And because of that, I'm like, I need to step it up to the next level. So I like try to add stuff in. And I'm like, okay, like we need more B-roll. We need like edits, crazy titles, thumbnails. Like that's how I do everything. I just like overcomplicate stuff. It's a tendency that I have. So I'm going to just not do that with my business, with my life, with these videos. I'm just going to not do that and just like just keep it simple. I've heard this saying, and I've been saying it a lot to myself lately, but dirty thinking is a result of inaction. That's what my mentor told me. Basically, like when you're trying to overcomplicate things, it's usually just due to like not taking action on the stuff that you have in front of you. And I find that when I overcomplicate things, the results actually go down. They don't go up because we start to like try too hard. The authenticity leaves, and we're like getting stressed about things that don't matter. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. This is so weird to say, but like, I'm having so much fun. Like, I'm enjoying my life so much. And I can tell you right now, I'm making so much less money than I was just last year at this time. Like, so much less money. I have a feeling that's going to change because money tends to follow passion, but like, I don't even care. I'm just like, I finally feel like I found something that I'm meant to be a part of. I feel like I found something that I'm like supposed to be here for. And I'm thankful for that. So yeah. This is the part where I'm supposed to make a call to action and stuff. It's whatever. I'm honestly I'm really busy right now. Depends on when you watch this video. I'm pretty busy right now. I don't have a team doing all this work for me and stuff. It's just me. But yeah, I mean, if you're a business owner and you do want to chat, we can do some work in the future together. Go ahead and reach out to me. I'll just put my WhatsApp number in the description. Just shoot me a text or something. Let's just chat. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Making weekly videos. I'm still going. I'm actually kind of late. Today's Sunday. It's supposed to be Friday. I've just been editing. So I'm kind of behind on that, but I'm not going to fall off. I'm going to keep doing this. I almost stopped. I almost told myself, I don't need to do this. Let's just focus on this, but sticking to my goals this year. I have a bunch of goals. I'm learning Spanish right now. I'm moving to Colombia. I'm building this business. I just got engaged. Like I have all these things going on and I'm just like, no, I need to stick to my word. So I will see you next week. Thanks for watching the video. We have like a long, Jesus Christ.